2025 Inland Empire Forecast. What homeowners, buyers, and investors need to know. All right, will home prices crash or climb in 2025? Here's my expert forecast for the Inland Empire and what it means for your next move. You know, there's an old saying in real estate, all real estate is local. In 2025, that's truer than ever because what's happening in downtown Los Angeles or on the coast is not always what's happening here in Upland or Ontario or Rancho or Chino or Ontario Ranch, Eastvale or even Corona. And the national headlines, they love a good scare. But if you want to succeed, if you want to buy, sell, or invest wisely, local expertise is still your best friend. My name is John Abril. I'm a licensed realtor and mortgage broker with Real Brokerage Technologies and Bird Eye Loans. And I've spent nearly my entire life growing up here in the Inland Empire, as well as my career helping Inland Empire families, investors navigate through the neighborhoods, through the boom years, through the slowdowns, through the meltdowns, and everything in between. I live here, I work here, and my business is built on relationships and results across Upland, Ontario, Rancho, Chino, Ontario Ranch, Eastvale, and Corona. So if you're looking for someone who doesn't just know the zip codes, but knows the school districts, the new developments, the coming sports complexes, and the real estate level trends, let's dig in together. So let's rewind to 2024 for a minute. It was a year that kept everyone guessing. Prices? Inland Empire's median sales price finished just above $630,000. But if you break it down city by city, the story gets really interesting. Murrieta shot up 7% to 700,000 median. Banning up 6%. Montclair up 6% to 673,000. But then you had places like Canyon Lake, Pomona, and Highland all showing drops. Canyon Lake down 15%, Pomona down 10%, Highland down 7%. It was the tale of two markets, sometimes separated by just a freeway exit. Inventory? That was the big plot twist. For years, buyers struggled to find anything. But in 2024, that changed. New listings jumped over 13% year over year. Suddenly, buyers in Rancho Cucamonga and Chino had more choices. Sellers, especially in Ontario Ranch and Eastvale, felt the competition heat up. Interest rates? This was the anxiety-inducing headline. Mortgage rates climbed and hovered between 6.8% and 7%. That kept some folks on the sidelines, but it also meant that those who jumped in were absolutely serious. Days on market, homes took longer to sell. In fact, the average time a home sat on the market went up 57%. That's a sign that things were normalizing, finally shifting from this red hot to, well, just hot market. What surprised me most, honestly, it was how resilient our local market was, especially the cities with big projects and economic investment. Places like Ontario with the upcoming Ontario Sports and Empire Complex saw steady demand despite higher rates. And even where prices softened, demand didn't disappear. Buyers just got choosier and the sellers had to step up their game. The headlines miss this. Real estate isn't one market. It's hundreds of micro markets. It's with its own story. And here in the Inland Empire, the story was about opportunity for those that were prepared. So let's look ahead. Where are prices, inventory, and rates headed? Home prices, barring any wild surprises, I'm forecasting a 2 to 4% price appreciation across most Inland Empire cities this year. The era of double-digit gains, it's behind us for now. But so are fears of a dramatic crash. Upland in Ontario, Upland and Rancho Cucamonga, I expect these markets to stay steady with some modest growth thanks to the great schools, commuter access, and strong community appeal. Ontario Ranch and Eastvale, new homes, new jobs, and that sports complex are fueling long-term value. Corona and Chino, still magnets for families moving to the Inland Empire for space and affordability. But here's the truth. Expect continued disparity between cities. Some neighborhoods will climb a little faster. Others might level out. The story is in the details. Inventory, active listings are up. Riverside County has nearly 14,000 homes for sale. the highest in over 5 years. And that means more choices for buyers and more competition for sellers. In some cities like Chino and Eastville, we're already seeing price reductions on homes that aren't move-in ready or priced too high. Mortgage rates, this is the million-dollar question. As we're seeing rates around 6.8 to 7%. Most forecasts, mine included, see those nudging down to maybe 6.5% by year's end if inflation cools and the Fed feels confident. For buyers, that means a window of opportunity before rates drop. And the competition heats up yet again. Local events, economy, and the Ontario sports empire. Now, well, the big wild card, the $100 million Ontario sports empire opening next year. This is not just a ballpark. We're talking 1.2 million new visitors annually, 700 jobs, a whole wave of infrastructure upgrades. Ontario and the neighboring cities are set to benefit big time. Increased demand for homes, better amenities, and the kind of economic boost that attracts both residents and investors beyond sports. The Inland Empire economy is on solid footing. Logistics is booming. Healthcare and professional services are growing. And we're continuing to see families move to the Inland Empire for better value and quality of life. Buyer and seller behavior. Sellers. Downsizing is huge, especially with Proposition 19 letting retirees transfer their property tax base. There's a lot of unlocking equity happening in Corona, Rancho Cucamonga, and even Upland. Buyers, they're more curious, but also more strategic. Shopping longer, looking for energy efficiency, prioritizing flexible spaces, and leveraging every available program. The bottom line, this is a market that rewards preparation, local knowledge, and real relationships. So if you want to win in 2025, you need to act like a pro and not a tourist. All right, sellers, this is your moment. Best time to list? If you want to maximize your sales price, target March through May. Spring still brings the most serious buyers. So if you miss spring, aim for early fall, September, October, when families who didn't buy over the summer are back in the market. Pricing and marketing strategies. Let's be honest. Today's buyers, they have more choices and more information than ever. So if you overprice your home, especially in places like Chino or Eastville where inventory is up, you will get left behind. Price to the market, not your dreams. Prep your home, fix the little things. Paint actually boosts curb appeal. Highlight what matters now. Energy efficiency, updated systems, flexible spaces for home offices or gyms, professional photos, video, and stagings. These aren't luxuries, they're absolute necessities. In Upland in Ontario, where competition is fierce, the right marketing can make or break your sale. Use targeted social media, tap into local networks, and don't be afraid to create urgency with, quote, just listed and open house buzz. Number one mistake to avoid, overpricing. With average days on market up 57%, you don't want to chase the market down. Price right, market aggressively, and you still find serious buyers even as the market balances out. Now let's talk to the buyers, because for many, 2025 is your year. Will it get easier or harder to buy? In some ways, it's getting easier. More inventory, longer days on market, and a little less competition, but affordability is still a challenge, especially for first-time home buyers. Looking in that $550,000 to $750,000 range in Upland, Ontario Rancho, and Corona. This is the sweet spot. So how do you win? Get pre-approved now, not just pre-qualified. Get your full underwriting started so you can move fast when you find the right place. Tap into programs. The Inland Empire Down Payment Assistance Program offers up to $40,000. Ask me about which fits best for you. So shop for deals with 13.6% more listings on the market. Motivated sellers are open to negotiation, especially in Chino, Eastville, and older neighborhoods in Corona and Rancho Cucamonga. Where are the buyers finding these deals? Properties with longer days on market. So don't be afraid to make an offer below asking. Homes in soft cities where there's a temporary price softness, but strong long-term fundamentals. Off-market or coming soon listings. Work with a connected agent to find these. For many investors looking beyond California, I'm also licensed in Georgia and Alabama, markets where investors are actually seeing positive cash flow on multi-units, unlike much of California. Many of my clients are diversifying out of state, and I'm happy to help you explore those options. Now for my investors, where's the opportunity in 2025? Rental trends, the Inland Empire rental market remains strong. Rents, I should say, are projected to average $2,050 by summer, with 2 to 4% growth year over year. The biggest demand, single-family rentals, especially in areas near job centers and top schools like Eastvale and Rancho Cucamonga. Small multifamily properties are solid at a good price. Should you look out of state? Yes, especially if cash flow is your number one priority. I'm seeing clients succeed in Georgia and Alabama where multi-unit properties can actually cash flow from day one. The Southeast is drawing investors from California for a reason. Lower prices, strong rent growth, and business-friendly economies. But don't write off local. With new infrastructure and the Ontario sports empire on the horizon, holding property here is a long-term play. Think of your real estate portfolio like a smart mutual fund. Diversify, stay patient, and keep your eyes open for emerging neighborhoods. So what do you do now? So if you're thinking of selling, start with a professional valuation and a strategy session. Timing, pricing, and preparation are everything in this market. If you're buying, get your pre-approval in place and start watching new listings daily. Don't go it alone. Team up with someone who can spot the hidden gems. Investors, evaluate your portfolio, consider diversifying, and don't be afraid to ask questions, even about markets outside of California. Here's how I can help. I'm your one-stop mortgage pre-approval, loan programs, listing strategy, investment evaluation, and deep local expertise. I'll give you honest advice, a custom plan, and the ongoing support you need. Whether you're ready to move tomorrow or just starting to dream, here's my challenge for you. What's your biggest question or boldest prediction for 2025 Inland Empire market? Drop it in the comments. I'll feature the best ones and give you my take in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow me on Instagram at @the_realtor_broker and at I'm John Abril. I'm John Abril, the Realtor and Mortgage Broker. Reach out to me at john@therealtorbroker.com or just call me at 909-635-5813. Let's make your next move your smartest move.